Hi, I'm Liz Weiss, and I'm the curator of this show called Here, There, and Everywhere, Women's Imagination Post-COVID-19 Lockdown. And there are 17 artists in the show. The theme of the show is my interest in what was going on during lockdown and how women in particular were using their time creatively given some of the constraints that have been going on. And I was very thoughtful about the artists that I chose. Some of the women I've known for many, many years, some were referred to me, and it's been a wonderful experience. Last night we had I think 11 artists participated in a panel discussion curated by Loretta Howard, who's a gallerist and art historian, about each individual experience.
How did the COVID-19 lockdown affect your art making practice? Did the lockdown allow you the much needed time to create? Or did it create other challenges in terms of anxiety, domestic responsibilities, or health that changed your artwork? And also, as Liz and I were talking about, is there something in particular about being a woman that is particularly at play here?
So I just am finding out that I still have all of this in me, and I couldn't be more excited. And that's part of what fueled my desire to do this show.
And I thought, I'm just going to make this joyful, hot pink painting. And I was so in it. It was probably 2/3 of the way. When my mood got so, dark, depressed, it was so hard to work on that painting. And so the first thing I did was just try to take all that anger. And I was making some drawings, small ink drawings that just had really felt like just the word fuck or no, or I forget what else I put in them. Hate, I don't know. There was a lot of F-bombs in there. Just trying to exercise the really worst feelings. And then I would do that for a few days. I'm like, okay, I can get back into the happy painting.
And every week we pick a different color, and it was associated with different things. And then in both of these collaborations, once a week we would meet through Zoom or FaceTime and share work and share ideas. So it was a way of keeping dialogue and conversation going.
My work was like my lifeline and that's what kept me, sort of sane since I was so isolated and everything. So anyway, everybody has their own way of coping, and I think if I wasn't doing that, I don't know. Anyway, so.
I freaked out. I just I live in the financial district and I couldn't see anything out my window. It's just like another office building that was empty. I needed to see a tree. I needed to see the sky. I felt so claustrophobic and I was terrified.
The issue of social alienation and physical proximity to people has been a big thing in my work for a while. The world has been changing in that regard, the way the proximity that people are comfortable having to other people.
I started to explore my area where I lived. Instead of traveling to other places, I traveled locally and discovered some wonderful places and found that without having to travel, there was just more time. And so there was a more relaxed feeling. I mean, yes, watching the news and all that was very stressful, but the time that was saved by not having to travel any place was a real bonus.
Started doing these coronas, which first I sat down and it's not going to work on me. And I did a bunch of different sketches, and I had already been working on these kind of beams and something similar, and it just happened. It was kind of amazing to me. So yeah, it's been kind of a reverse experience for me, and also not having the pressure to go in the city. I mean, feeling like a little bit of a relief.
You know, I said, is anyone there? Is anyone working? It was like, well, I'm there working, so that was nice for me as an artist. Like a room of your own and quiet privacy. I liked that a lot, and I went back and I looked at old work that I had put away and didn't, you know, thought it wasn't finished or I didn't care for it, and I looked at it differently, and I just felt like there was no pressure that things were going to have to happen.
That one day when de Blasio was like, okay, we're shutting down, the subway's closing down, it just started to feel really panicky. So I grabbed material that I could, and I grabbed a box of pastels. The pastel is kind of this thing that's been in the corner of my studio, and I don't want to use it because I know it too well, I'm too good at it. But I don't know why I grabbed it, I just grabbed it. And I grabbed some paper. And I was at home, so we're stuck at home, and I'm using the pastel and the paper, and something happened. Like, oh my God, it is a material that I'm really good at. And there's nothing wrong with using something that you're good at, because I didn't even have to think about the material. It just, the images, just came to me. And because of isolation and because of not being able to go anywhere, like the whole world opened up.